Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm excited to share today's top stories with you. We're starting off with a look at the current state of global politics. From the United States to China, and from the UK to Brazil, it seems like every country is dealing with its own set of challenges and controversies. In the US, there are concerns about the impact of President Trump's policies on international relations and trade agreements. Meanwhile, in China, the government is vowing to stand firm against what it sees as bullying tactics from the US. In the UK, a new populist party called Reform UK is making waves and potentially reshaping the country's political landscape. Led by Nigel Farage, the party is gaining traction and could become a major force in British politics. And in Brazil, the BRICS meeting of emerging economies is underway, with China's foreign minister warning against appeasing the US and its trade demands. It's clear that the world is becoming increasingly complex and interconnected, and it's more important than ever to stay informed about what's happening globally. On this podcast, we'll be exploring these stories in more depth, examining different perspectives, and analyzing the implications of these developments. We'll also be taking a closer look at some other major news stories, including the latest on trade tensions between the US and China, the ongoing impact of Brexit, and the rise of populist movements around the world. Our goal is to provide you with a balanced and nuanced view of the news, without taking sides or promoting any particular agenda. So sit back, relax, and join us as we delve into the world of news and current events. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara, and we're glad you're joining us again for this important update. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a region that's been making headlines lately, the Indian subcontinent, specifically Kashmir. This disputed territory between India and Pakistan has been a hotbed of tension for decades, and recent events have escalated the situation even further. We've seen reports of a devastating attack on tourists in Kashmir, which resulted in the loss of innocent lives. The incident has sparked widespread condemnation and raised concerns about the safety and security of people in the region. India has blamed Pakistan for the atrocity, while Pakistan's defense minister has made some startling admissions about the country's past support for certain groups. To put this into perspective, the Indian subcontinent is home to over 1.5 billion people, with both India and Pakistan possessing nuclear weapons. The historic animosity between these two nations dates back to the partition of British India in 1947, and it's an issue that continues to simmer just below the surface. We've also seen India cancel the Indus Water Treaty, which had been in place to share water resources between the two countries. Pakistan considers this a direct threat to its national existence, given its limited natural water supplies. Meanwhile, India is projected to need a massive influx of energy over the next 25 years, including a tripling of its current natural gas supply. It's clear that both India and Pakistan have supplies of resources that the other needs to survive, but their historic grievances and tensions make it difficult for them to work together. As we've seen in other parts of the world, cooperation and dialogue are essential for resolving conflicts and promoting peace. As we continue to monitor this developing story, we urge all parties involved to prioritize diplomacy and seek a peaceful resolution to their differences. The consequences of conflict in this region would be catastrophic, not just for India and Pakistan but for the entire world. We'll keep a close eye on this situation and bring you updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we encourage our listeners to stay informed and engaged on this critical issue. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara, As we close out today's show, we're going to delve into a couple of stories that have been making headlines around the world. We'll start with a report from the UK, where it's been revealed that the Attorney General's office has been facilitating communication between the Israeli embassy and relevant authorities in cases involving Palestinian activists. According to reports, the Attorney General's office has been helping the Israeli embassy get in touch with the right people to share information about specific cases. However, some have raised concerns that this could be seen as interfering with the independence of the British judicial system. But the government has maintained that decisions to prosecute, convict, and sentence are made independently by the Crown Prosecution Service, juries, and judges. We also want to bring to your attention a story from France, where the Foreign Ministry has accused Israel's embassy of unacceptable behavior after it banned 2 French groups, including elected officials, from visiting Israel. The Israeli embassy claimed that these groups were linked to a terrorist organization, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. France has called on Israel to reverse its decision, stating that the public accusations made by the Israeli embassy in France are unacceptable and damaging to Franco-Israeli relations. This development comes amid already complicated ties between the two countries over the war in Gaza and Israel's handling of the conflict. As we examine these stories, it's essential to consider the complexities and nuances involved. We must strive to understand the perspectives of all parties and avoid taking a biased approach. It's crucial to recognize that the issues at hand are multifaceted and require careful consideration. As we wrap up today's show, I want to encourage our listeners to stay informed and engaged on these matters. Remember that a well-informed public is essential for fostering constructive dialogue and promoting understanding. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay engaged.